It's not often that a game draws so much attention to its own save system. Today we're going to be talking about the balance of Popful Mail and how that affects the game's pacing.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Commune podcast. With me I have yourself, Shouty, and Golem. I will be your host for today. My name is Adrian. Yourself, how have you been doing lately? What games have you been playing?
I've been doing alright, and I've been playing Lufia 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Is GTA 5 any good?
Yeah, it's better than I thought, but it could really lose the open world and it would be twice as good a game.
Really?
Yeah, it does a better job of progressing the action elements, like introducing new context for shooting and driving gameplay that generally keep it actually surprisingly fresh despite how long the game is. It's just that you don't need to drive around for 30 minutes in between every mission and do side missions and switch characters and stuff like that.
Didn't you tell me it was the Max Payne 3 devs that did the action?
I mean, that did the entire game, Rockstar North, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Shouty, how have you been doing? What games have you been playing?
I've been doing well, thank you. the last game I played was Splatoon.
Oh,
So,
it's cool.
yeah, it is cool. It's Splatoon. It's the reason to buy a Wii U.
Don't. Your lucky Wario fan isn't on this podcast.
Wait,
Why?
what other good Wii U game is there?
Zombie U,
Don't-
Wonderful
don't-
101, Pikmin 3.
Don't say Sonic.
Zombie U. Zombie U. And also Red Sonic.
Go
Which
on
Sonic?
likes Lost World.
Going like Sonic Boom.
Alright, don't spread lies and libel.
Well,
Alright.
that can be a new
Excellent.
tagline. Go on like Sonic Boom.
So Golem, how have you been doing?
A little
And what
worse
games have
lately.
you been playing?
I have also been playing Splatoon, and like a week ago I asked Wario Fan, why is there no Wii remote support? And then he sent me, this joke image of, someone duct taped a Wii remote to their Pro controller, and I got a good laugh out of it. And
Right.
then I came to realize that wasn't a joke image. That's an actual feature in the game.
Wait, you can play it with the Wiimote nunchuck?
No,
If you're
just
doing
Wii
the-
remote and Pro controller.
Yeah,
If you're doing the local multiplayer where you play against someone else, and
Oh.
someone else has to use the TV, and if they want motion controls for looking around instead of dual analog controls, they can do that. They could shoelace their Pro controller with their Wii remote.
It's probably the most insane thing Nintendo's ever done. I mean, it is truly bizarre.
One. Why didn't they just make the Pro controller have a Motion Plus in it?
Well, I really think
Because that's what
one.
that's what the Pro Controller Plus is for.
That's what the Nintendo
When
brand
it comes
tape is
out.
for.
Wait, there's a Pro controller Plus? I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
I'm
Are you
joking.
lying?
Yeah, there are too many.
Okay, you're lying.
layers of
I
feedback.
couldn't tell because that sounds like what they would actually name it.
That's the Nintendo NX or whatever.
6-axis?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
except
record-
the PS3 6-axis sucks though.
For the record, I've also been playing Splatoon. I just didn't feel like mentioning it.
Because everyone's been playing Splatoon. Who has a Wii U or access
I mean,
to a Wii U.
It is good.
I
It's
feel
actually
very
the first
left out.
game that actually got me to play the Wii U.
You played Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, but I didn't play through it.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that's an that game doesn't.
You played
Yeah.
video games like Wonderful 101.
I tried it and didn't really care.
Oh.
In this next section, we're going to be talking about game balance. Both the small moment-to-moment action of combat and large scale, how often you can save, when you can find shops, etc.
Our game for today is Popful Mail. Yay. Alright.
Why we play Popful Mail?
I hope that's a sarcastic yay.
It is, that game.
I take full responsibility for everyone here playing Popful Mail.
Alright, so let me be up front. I mean, this is supposed to be the last question, but and we'll get into details for what we liked and did not like later, but in summary, this game was a disappointment to me.
Me too.
But yeah.
It couldn't have been a disappointment because I didn't expect it to be any good, but yeah, it was garbage.
Yeah. I didn't. I was expecting something better. I mean, it's friggin' Sega. Come on. But yeah. Oh,
You're expecting something good from Sega?
well, yeah. This was when Sega wasn't okay. Well, the Sega CD, but they were still making like good games.
Yeah, but this
Oh.
was developed by Falcom.
I thought it was like the original was by Falcom, and then Sega got the rights to redevelop it, right? Something like that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
was the case.
Like the way that arcade ports would be developed by Sega, like Forgotten Worlds.
I have no idea. I'll look up the credits.
Yeah. For the way the game handed out money to you, did you ever feel like you never had enough money for anything or things like that?
No.
No, you never felt that? Okay.
No.
As far as money is concerned, I never had that problem either. As far as stats, though, I felt like everything killed you way too fucking fast.
Well,
Unless... What?
before we move on, I definitely had to start farming if I wanted all of the equipment, starting with World 3. Although you don't need to equip all of your characters until a certain undisclosed point.
Right. Yeah, usually you can have one of them take on the boss. And stats. Who here is in agreement that you often find yourself dying fairly quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't get a whole lot of hits done, and the damage values will do not a majority of your health, but like 30 to 40 for most bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think you hit on a good point about the hit stun. I guess to narrow down, like, what is it about this game that you die so friggin' fast? One of them is definitely the hit stun. Oh, yourself, Hugo.
Part of it is also, I mean, there's a hit stun, but on a larger scale, when we're just talking about how many hits you die in, like, dying in 3 hits or 4 hits is not that crazy for a platformer. In fact, obviously, plenty are one-hit kill. It's just that this game is strung out so far or the levels are strung out so far that if you take 2 hits against one enemy, then you have the next 15 minutes to play perfectly.
Yeah, I always just reload at that point, because you can save at every door.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's what it then comes down to. And I think that is like that's where you get into why balance is a weird subject to talk about, because does the save system balance the difficulty?
It feels like save scumming.
It does.
I forgot to put that in the question. I also had to resort to save scumming in this game because that's what it is, and I do not like this save system. What did you think about the save system in general about this game? Do you like, or did you have to resort to saving at nearly every room or saving as often as possible? And did you ever have moments where you died and it's like, oh shit, I forgot to save, now I gotta do this last 30 minutes all over again?
Well, I never had that happen, luckily. I pretty quickly took to just saving at every room, and it's hard to complain when a game gets easy, and the bosses are still challenging, so I didn't have too much of a problem with it.
Yeah, if you realize that that saving is in your agency, and you don't save at different points that the game provides, you get into the habit of saving as often as possible.
Do you like doing that?
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I guess I don't really like that.
A lot of my problem with that, aside from the fact that it just creates a really weird pace for the game, is that in like an adventure type game like this, like it's one thing in a strategy game, I'm not a fan of save scumming there either, but in an adventure game where you're doing exploration, if you save at every room and you don't ever retraverse areas, then you don't commit anything to memory, and you end up in a situation where it's really easy to save in like the middle of some dungeon, not play the game for 5 days, and then have no sense of direction whatsoever. And even beyond that, just if you get stuck at a part for 30 minutes because you're replaying the same room over and over again, you get to the point where it's like, wait a minute, which direction was I trying to go? Which of these other paths have I explored already? And I think it really undermines the structure. Like, replaying parts of a game is an integral part of learning a game.
It doesn't help when a Popful Mail also asks you to double back over yourself and then redouble.
And then redouble 3 more times.
Yeah, you don't remember how many times you redoubled.
Alright. I guess dialing it back to the question of balance with the stats, realize that it is sort of intertwined with, one, how often they save, because this game has no checkpoints. There's no Metroid save station or anything like that. So that's one thing to consider. But it's also just the fact that earlier we mentioned about the hit stun and how it's not uncommon, but the thing is, did anyone notice the issue with the camera in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Possible not to notice.
Alright, so who wants to do the honors of explaining what's wrong with the camera in this game?
Yeah, Shaddy, was that a contrarian that I heard?
Well, I guess you could have spaced it out a little bit further ahead, but it didn't really bother me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You only see 1/3 of the screen if you're moving full speed.
Right. And then, like,
whatever's in front of you.
What makes it worse is that Mail is the first character you get, and she's the fastest. So when you're trying to learn how the game works, your view is going to be very constricted because you're moving so quickly into something you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just quite a bit of bumping into stuff. And then when you get to enemies that in particular charge at you or anything, it's very easy to just have an enemy attack you as soon as you're on screen, or as soon as it gets on screen, and then not have an opportunity to react to it.
But the flip side is, if you can hit an enemy and then time your subsequent hits appropriately, you can have it hit stunned until it's dead.
Yeah, and there's another
stun locked.
Without even getting the stun lock, the middle screen dead zone also gives you the ability to scroll an enemy onto screen, then back up 1/3 so that you're out of its range, and then just attack it from afar. I mean, that's not good gameplay, but it's there.
Yeah. Having to constantly go forward and then go back so you can see what's going on. Now, Mail herself, or actually I think it's pretty much all the characters, they have very short invulnerability time. Actually, I'm not sure at all. They have the knockback, but...
They have invulnerability as long as they're getting knocked back, and I think once they stand, they're not invincible, right?
I think that's what it is, too.
There's got to be invulnerability time, because if you stand on spikes or lava or something, you don't just drain health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I haven't been able to reconcile in my head is, like, Wonder Boy 3 has invincibility time just as wimpy. It only lasts while you're getting knocked back. But I never felt like it was as cheap as it is here, and I wonder if that's like a matter of enemy design, maybe because you don't lose as much health, or maybe enemies aren't all on top of you. It definitely helps that I think if you take subsequent hits while invincible in Wonder Boy 3, you don't take subsequent damage until you exit the invincibility state.
In Wonder Boy 3, doesn't your sword knock back a lot of enemies?
Yes.
I feel like that's a major component of it, where in Popful Mail, as we were talking about, you can stun lock enemies, but they stay in place when you do that. Mm-hmm. And so if you have an enemy that's creeping towards you, like one of those mummies or something that takes 10 hits to kill, and he's getting just like 2 pixels in every time you hit him, then he edges closer and closer to you. Whereas in Wonder Boy 3, you naturally create space every time you hit an enemy.
Yeah, in that game, even the bosses have knockback.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main strategy.
What a good game.
So one of the things that results from that, and I don't know if you guys have had this happen to you, is that if you do like a jump attack or something, you'll like hit them, but then, you'll keep moving forward, and you'll fall on the ground, and then their hitbox reactivates, and then they're right on top of you, and you get bounced back.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
I find that happening a lot more with bosses because they're, naturally a lot larger. So the one in particular that I recently fought with could kill me really fast because you have to hit his like eyeball thing. I think it was the last World 4 boss, and it is so insane how quickly he can kill you because of the fact that you will be stuck inside him. But the knockback will not push you out of him. So you'll be inside him and he'll like bounce straight up or he won't bounce at all. And that's another problem there too.
Yeah, I think the first world boss has that problem as well, the wood golem.
That's stupid. Sometimes he doesn't even stun.
Oh, so I actually have a couple of interesting notes on the wood golem. First, enemies don't hit you enemies can't collide with you while they are flashing from getting hit. So,
Right.
Because the wood golem doesn't get stunned when he's moving forward, you can cut him to get behind him, and then stun him from behind. And also, this is just weird and arbitrary. On his first body, he'll take hit stun when he's moving backwards, and on his subsequent bodies, he will only take hit stun moving backward if you wait until after he starts his second charge.
What the hell?
Yeah, that sounds
That
super
might-
intentional.
Well,
Intentional
that
for what reason? Sounds like a glitch.
yeah, sure plays like one. So
It just
yeah.
sounds like a programming oversight.
Anyways, I in general I don't feel like this is the kind of game that you should be dying as quickly as you do, or just dying in as few hits. Because another trend that I found is often enemies will do just as much damage as the bosses. So if you have some bosses doing 30 damage to you, which, by the way, you only have a health of 100, so that's quite a lot. There are levels where enemies will do that much damage to you.
Working Designs did increase the damage done when they brought it over here. And I almost wonder if, in its original Japanese form, it works as just sort of a casual, everybody wins kind of game, and you just play through it to hear some wacky voice acting, and the game puts up a challenge, but not much of a challenge. I think it would work well in that kind of scenario.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to play it initially.
Yeah, because to me, it's like a lot of my gripes. Like, I wouldn't gripe so hard about this game if I didn't die as quickly as I did, where I have to play incredibly conservatively. I have to relish every last healing item I can. So I hate having to use a healing item, and I especially hate having to wait in elixir. So anytime I get like hit even once, it's like, all right, time to reload the room again, because I know I can get through that whole thing without getting hit even once, so I don't have to waste my melons or my bananas or whatever. So that's just one of the things why I really don't like that you die as quickly as I do. But another reason that I just figured out now is that the health drops are so rare and so minuscule as to be worthless.
I don't think I've seen one of those since like the first hour of the game.
I remember farming for health in the Wind Cave. That was pretty significant, but
it definitely spawns there.
Yeah.
But it only heals 5 HP, so that's why I never felt like...
You only need 20, or 19, I guess.
Yeah. So I think that's another thing that's also tied into the system, is that you have these really long stretches where you don't ever want to get hit because you won't have anything to heal you except the healing items that you've already stacked up. And the thing is that if you get hit even twice, it's like, alright, I gotta go to the pause menu, use another healing item. All the boss hit me twice again, I gotta use another healing item. He hit me twice again, now I gotta use another one. And another one, and that can be kind of grating.
So, part of that is the save system, which puts you at the beginning of each room. Part of that is the hit stun, which makes enemies take you out so quickly. Part of that is the localization, which ups the damage values. But also, another part of that is that shops are unreliable. So, you're reluctant to use health items because, well, I was anyway.
Yes.
Because I never know when the next shop is coming in. It's frustrating, like, why couldn't they just have put a shop on the map so that like I could rely on that?
Yeah, or why aren't there more of those treasure chest things? So if I go on the optional path, I can actually, or instead of just giving me 1 melon, why not give me 5? So yeah, it's a lot of like tuning issues, I find.
I think when you get into the actual design of the enemies, and I think more so the enemies than the levels, it also evidences sort of a tendency or an encouragement for a really safe style of gameplay where they just have really rigid patterns that are really easy to predict. And so because of the fact that you die so quickly, there's never any benefit to like trying to run past a bunch of skeletons after hitting them the first time, because it's like, well, you know, if he gets up after crumbling and hits me just once, I'm screwed. So I'm just going to sit here for another 30 seconds and hit him the second time because it's really easy to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of the same way as the save system gives you that, like, easy out.
It's also boring, though.
Yeah, it is. But it's boring to die all the time, too.
What adds to the safe style of gameplay is that you play with ranged weapons 90% of the time, and the enemies seem like their patterns are built around you having a melee weapon.
Yeah, I thought the action got a lot worse once. Well, not that I loved it to start with, but I thought it was, like, I was kind of okay with it when you just melee with a sword, and then once it turns out that all your other weapons are ranged, it just turned into that safety fest.
Yeah. I thought it was weird when I saw them selling Mail a boomerang. It's like, what? She has a sword. Why would you give her a boomerang?
Well, she gets daggers before boomerang.
Say what?
She gets daggers before boomerang.
Well, if it was another game where the boomerang was a stun weapon, then that would make sense. But no, it's a killing weapon. You use it in place of your sword.
You only think boomerangs are stun weapons because of Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah, boomerangs are killing weapons. You know, haven't you ever seen Road Warrior?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever went to Australia and see a guy kill a kangaroo with a boomerang?
No.
Yeah.
Can't say that I have.
They're killing each other right and left down there.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't those like war boomerangs the kind that don't come back?
You're close. No boomerangs really come back. I mean, they make an arc, but they don't come back to the thrower.
Yeah. Whatever, it's a fantasy land. I guess they can let that one slide. So, we went through quite a few things there, didn't we? Alright, next question. Were there any things about the game's mechanics or rules that you didn't figure out until later? I don't know if this is a problem any of you might have had with the game.
Yeah, there was actually one really big one that I missed, which was that you can switch characters.
There's no, like, Tech joined your party. There's none of that.
Yeah. I had no idea until I was stuck on the first world boss for a really long time. Or, no, it wasn't.
You don't have Tat then.
No, it was the second world boss, the dinosaur guy.
Goratus.
Yeah, the bonk boss. Yeah, I got stuck on him for a really long time, so I went to YouTube to see how the hell you're supposed to fight him. And it was, you're just supposed to switch characters and fight him. And that's how I learned that was a feature.
But I still use a mail for the golem.
Yeah, golem. No, not the golem. Goratus.
Oh, Goratus. I still used mail for the Goratus.
Yeah, golem said he did too. I had a really hard time.
Yeah, the wood golem said he used mail for Goratus.
Yeah, I just can't tell who we're talking to here. It's just the game.
Were there any other things you didn't figure out?
I didn't figure out you could save every room until like halfway through my first playthrough.
Same here. And then that's when I started save scumming.
Wait, then when you died, you had to play the whole game over.
Well, I would save occasionally, and it never struck me that, this is the room that I saved in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You thought you were just spawning at like the beginning of a level or something?
Or there were checkpoints, maybe.
Right. There sort of are. I mean, it's not technically save scumming unless it's a safe state, right?
I mean, well, would you say that, saving around every corner in Half-Life is save scumming?
Yeah.
It depends. Probably yes.
Literally every corner? That's just playing boringly.
That's
Popful Mail.
I don't think there are as many corners as you think there are in Half-Life.
Half-Life or Half-Life 2?
I don't know if it matters.
Half-Life 2 doesn't really have any corners at all. That was the big advancement. Why it was
It's
such
all
a big deal.
circles.
And that's why they haven't been able to follow it up, because they were like, how do we make another game without corners? It's impossible.
Oh, there is a mechanic I didn't know about, but it's kind of a spoiler.
Whatever.
Because it's later in the... Okay, yeah, so later in the game, when you get Tat's final weapon, I didn't know you could use it as a homing shot.
I did. That one I didn't
well.
have trouble finding out.
And I knew about his fourth weapon, which is just a scattering shot, but I didn't know about the homing shot for the last.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew with the fourth weapon you could actually charge it up and have like a ring of those things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know about that.
I never found a use for that.
I didn't either, because it would almost never hit anything, and I would get hit before I could.
It's also really weak.
It's also you're playing the game wrong if you're not using the flamethrower.
Yeah, so so if you thought you were gonna have like a cool like Jewel satellite or pump shield thing going on with that, think again. Regarding Tat's weapons, the one that I didn't figure out until a little later while I was fighting the boss after like my third or fourth try was that you could actually curve those shots up and down.
Oh, I know about that.
I didn't. It didn't think to me that, oh yeah, you can curve your shots in this game. It's like,
I thought the homing shot was a curved shot when I saw it being used against a boss in a YouTube video.
Well, it was like the second weapon you ever get for him.
That was the first thing I tried with the boomerang, was to see if I could curve it.
Yeah, that's the boomerang. Everyone knows you can curve boomerangs.
Yeah, but then I figured reapply the principle to the other weapons that are essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
In general, though, this game does not have too many like obtuse rules. You might learn nuances like how long enemies are stunned and how long your attack will take to come out.
God takes the most time to come out with his attack using a breath weapon.
Yeah. Oh, the next question is, did you ever have trouble advancing through the game? So this isn't really mechanics. This is more like we're finding out just where to go or how to get through something. Did at any point you get stuck?
Like,
really?
Yeah, I did a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
I think I sort of managed to force my way through because there's not that many things to choose from. Except, okay, well, no, I did get stuck at where your stuff got stuck with the Happy Flames of Death.
That is actually what they're called.
That was really stupid because, I mean, that just, to me, reeks of bad design, where it's like, if you want me to kill all the things, you gotta signal when I kill the first one that I've done something. Like, you can't just give me a really hard challenge and expect me to figure out. It sort of doubles the challenge. You not only need to be able to execute it, you need to figure out that you can execute it.
Yeah, I tried hitting the fireballs and didn't realize the weirdo rule about when you can hit them and when you can't.
Right, there's such weird hitbox.
I thought it was just a platforming challenge.
It's not. I thought it was a platforming challenge too, where I jumped all the way to the other side, and then I get to the last crumbling platform and think, oh, it's probably going to be a cool moment where Slick, goddammit, saves me. I really wish it wasn't him, but he's probably going to drop a ladder or something. Nope, I fall to the pit and burn to death. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I try it again, and I'm like, okay, maybe I had to break that wall at the very end there or something. It's like, no, it doesn't do anything. So it's like, what do I do?
Especially when, like, if it takes you, I don't know, like a minute or something, then it'll pop up a dialogue that says, oh, we need to find some way to open the door.
Yeah.
I think that's when all the platforms disappear.
Yeah, several platforms are already disappearing at that point, I think.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that, like, that's not a hint. Like, I know that's what I'm doing. That's like saying, we need to find a way to not die.
That's letting you know that the game is not over and that there is actually a way to clear the segment.
Yeah, it gives you that.
Yeah, it tells you that it's not like an unconditional game over.
Yeah, you don't have to go find some other secret hidden path instead of talking to Davy Jones or whatever his name is.
Venuncio.
I also had an issue with hitting the fireballs because in like my third attempt, or even my first and second, I noticed that you couldn't hit the fireballs, which is why I assumed, okay, just run past them because these guys, you can't hit them. But when I looked up how to hit them, it's like, oh, you can hit them. So then I try hitting and I was like, why can't I hit these damn things? So it's like, oh, it's much easier if you use Gauss Claw. So it's like, fuck. So I go and buy the claw thing, and then I'm like, yes, finally. And even then, I barely had enough time to do it. Actually, I think I died my first time trying to claw them onto death. Then I got it in the second one after that.
The rule is that you can hit them while they have a face, right?
I didn't know that.
Thereabouts. It's like when they're in the top half of their arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when they make their face.
Yeah.
I feel like their name, Happy Flames of Death, should be a clue. Because that's when they're happy.
Well, you don't know their name until you beat them.
Yeah.
No, wait. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought Venetia said something about it.
The thing is, if he had said something about it, that would be a sufficient clue. Like, succumb to my happy flames of death, and be like, oh, okay, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Instead, it feels like the challenge is the platform's deteriorating, so it feels like that's, like, the timer is what you need to beat.
Yeah, you think the trap is, oh, I'm going to drop you into lava. You don't think the trap is, oh, these rising fireballs things are keeping the door locked.
But that's, at the end of the day, that's a pretty rare moment for Popful Mail where you often have trouble advancing because of some maze layout or some really difficult boss. It's rare that you simply don't know you're stuck in a room and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I think, though, the lack of information provided there and the requirement to interact with something that it's not obvious you're able to interact with sort of does echo, for instance, in the mine when you have to talk to people in a specific order and then re-talk to them. No. Because, again, the issue is that you're never given a hint that talking to people a second time is a thing that you can do. And you've been talking to people for the entire game, so suddenly the rules change, and that's how you get stuck.
Yeah. I thankfully did not get stuck on that, but that is, that moment there is like, this is something that I gotta talk about on the podcast, because I wonder if anyone else, like, either got stuck that they had to look it up, or just spent a really long time, and when they finally got through, it's like, felt unsatisfying or anything.
It took me a while, because it's not totally clear where you can go. There are lots of points where you can just drop off the bottom of the screen, and it turns out that doesn't take you anywhere, so that's a real red herring. And then when you finally learn where everything is, I mean, it takes long enough to get to that point, and when you get to that point, you realize, oh, the only thing I have left to do is to talk to everybody, so then you're retracing every single step you've taken through the mine.
Yeah. And the mine, I think, has the most people you can talk to.
Not only that, but they also sometimes have voice dialogue.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's what kind of makes it obvious that that's the one guy you have to talk to. But in the red herring department again, like, if you come to him with gold, he just says, like, oh, I wish I could talk to gold or something really weird. And it's like, okay, I'm doing what the game is asking me to do, so...
At that point, you have to go find the guards, right? And then you can give them gold?
Yeah, you have to you have to talk to the dwarf, and then the door will open. Then you have to go through the door and talk to the guards.
Yeah.
And then you have to get the gold. And well, you can get the gold at any point, but yeah, then you have to bring the gold to the guy. And then you have to go talk to the dwarf again, and then you go back to the guards.
Yeah, it's hard to draw any meaning out of that.
Yeah. I guess you can say this is the most shallow kind of backtracking that I've seen, because it's no Metroid, that's for sure. It really is just get you go back and forth through the same level that you've already been to.
I think possibly even shallower is the Wind Cave, where you go find Slick, he's trapped behind a stalactite, then you go all the way to the left, and it's like, you see Gaw, and there's a wall, and then you just go back to Slick, he tells you something else, then you go back to the wall, then you go back to Slick again, then you go back to the wall again.
So that's the one that made me feel like an idiot. I didn't get stuck, but I did waste a lot of time, because, like, am I really supposed to just say, well, you're fucked, and then just go back and talk? Because when I went to talk to him, that was for shits and giggles, because it's like, well, I can't find out any dude, you're stuck here, kid. And it's like, oh, he gave me another bomb. I didn't know he had one. So now I can keep going with the game. It's like, oh, that was silly.
I got stuck on that same point, and I spent so much time looking in the water, like, just I guess it
I didn't
really
know-
threw me off that there was water, but for no reason.
Going back to mechanics that I never really learned, it took me a while to realize that I could swim.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest swim too, because it's not slow, so you don't get a sense that you're in water. It's more like an infinite jump zone.
It's really impressive that they made swimming that makes Mega Man 8 swimming look good.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't the swimming the same as Castlevania swimming?
I didn't know there was Castlevania.
Castlevania swimming works a little better in that I believe the gravity is a little lower than it is here, and also you don't have to be so strict in timing your swim presses, your jump.
Yeah.
So it's more like
okay.
space jumping underwater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, the strictness of it does make it feel like space jumping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, jumping on top of the jellyfish's head. Did any
Yeah.
of that?
I thought jumping on top of the jellyfish is what's required to get out.
It is.
Yeah,
I
if you
know.
get stuck in the water.
Yeah, that was another one that's like, oh, damn it.
Isn't the jellyfish lightning a one-hit kill, too?
No, it does.
No.
It does a ton of damage, but it's not one hit kill.
Oh, well, best case scenario, it's a 3-hit kill.
Yeah, it's always fun having to micromanage your health every step of the way to make sure, okay, I gotta make sure I don't die in one hit to this next enemy. Which is why I resorted to the super safe, save at every room, never take a hit kind of thing. Because you never know when you just get hit twice in a row before you even have a chance to quickly hit C and then get out of Melon to save yourself. Or switch players so you don't have to take that second hit.
That makes the game feel really long, and I found on my second playthrough, when I know the game a lot better, it feels like I sit down and crank out a world in like no time flat. Because I can play a lot farther without having to reload saves.
Once I got to World 3, I felt like I started making progress a lot faster. But I don't know, I also
I
haven't
felt like I got to a
World 4.
grinding halt when I got to World 4.
Oh god, World 4 is the one that I'm talking about in particular. The first 3 worlds were not that bad to me. It's World 4 that's when that really started happening. Should I spoil it for yourself? What's going on in World 4?
Trust me, I could not possibly care less about this.
Ice
game.
physics. Really shitty fucking ice physics, man. So if you thought the
well, I
camera-
love ice levels.
If you thought the camera was bad then, wait till you go so friggin' fast that they come out faster than you can blink your damn eyelids.
That reminds me of how Monster World 4 has that awesome super long ice dungeon. I never really cared for that.
See, I can understand why it would be frustrating, but also, like, it's such a sensibly laid out maze. It gives me so much satisfaction to plot where everything is, as opposed to Popful Mail, where it's just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Monster World 4?
Yeah, but I just cheated in that dungeon in Monster World 4.
How'd you
You know,
Cheat.
there are codes you have to find to
Oh.
open certain doors.
So you just looked them up.
No, I just guessed.
Oh,
They're
wait,
like,
wasn't that the
they're like-
ice prison?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ice pyramid, I mean?
they're like 3-part codes, and there are only 3
Yeah,
things that
okay.
each of them can be, so
Now it's coming back to me.
Is
that's,
that 3 choose 3 or 3 pick 3?
that's 3 pick 3.
Okay.
Oh, I want to ask, and I'm sorry I'm kind of rewinding this back to the first question. Were you guys always keeping up with the current weapons and armor?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I tried to.
My
Yeah.
first
Right.
playthrough, I would farm and get everything as soon as it came out. And on my second playthrough, I'm finding I already know what I like for each part of the game. So, like, World 3, I largely use Mail. So I only bothered upgrading her. And then I had some extra cash, so I upgraded Gaw.
Right. So I guess this is one of the things, kind of why I asked the question about in the first place, is that even when you're getting the best stuff, enemies still do a shit ton of damage, like 30 apiece. And it's like, you think the whole point of getting better weapons and armor was that you take less damage. But sometimes I actually found that, like, what the difference between the silver mail and whatever came before it was literally a difference of 2. So instead of doing 30 damage, they did 28. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell is going on with this game?
I think the game does, possibly because of the working designs modification, get into that nonsensical numbers area where you can upgrade your stats and in no way affect the gameplay. Like, enemies will still take 2 hits and you'll still die in 3 hits, despite the fact that you bought new gear.
But
Yeah.
even if you don't care for the armor or the shield, you do at least need the new weapons because they have properties that make them more useful.
Yeah, like the extra range.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and eventually the weapons, because of whatever the damage formula is, will just start doing only 1 damage. So you do need to upgrade them.
Yeah. So yeah, I brought that up again because it's actually a more extreme version of what would happen to me in Ys Olden Morgana. But even in Ys Olden Morgana, you can still take way more hits.
Yeah, I kind of wish we played Ys 3 instead of Popful Mail if we wanted a Falcon platformer.
Yeah, but Ys 3 also really, not good.
Not good.
Does
And-
Ys
but the
3
thing
have
is,
voice
like-
acting?
It does on Turbo.
Yeah, it does.
The main reason that I say it's a more extreme version, because remember that damn peacock dragon where it's like, oh, I bought the new weapon. Now he dies way faster, and I don't have to spend 15 minutes just fighting this one dude and then dying in 2 hits. Now I can take way more hits, but with Popful Mail, I didn't get that at all. It's like, I'm still dying really fast.
Actually,
Well,
what you're talking about in Oath and Felghana happened a lot in Terranigma.
Yeah,
in,
Terranigma has that problem too.
in Oath and Felghana, my experience is just that the action is really good, so I don't care. Like, I don't care if I die in 2 hits because I want to learn how to play the boss battle better. Like, it's fun.
Not for me. That peacock, the peacock dragon was definitely a sour spot because when you're reacting to the same patterns over and over, it's like, and you're really like kicking his ass only for him to like hit you twice. This just doesn't do it for me. That's just like lame. Why am I dying so fast? Oh, it's because I don't have the current weapon. I don't have my current armor, so now I can actually survive instead of him, beating me that quickly.
Sorry, which boss do you mean by the peacock dragon?
It's the one in the ice after you get the earth magic.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite one. That guy's awesome.
That one sucks. That stupid raining ice attack that you have no idea where the hell those things are going to land because it's like the most poor use of 3D space. Not my favorite. But anyways, diverging bit. So yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at with the balance in Popful Mail is that even when you want to try to make the game easier for yourself, you really can't. And the thing is, like, I can't do any more than this. So as far as player control difficulty, it's way harder than you would think for an RPG to get into that sweet spot for you.
If you want to control difficulty, your main option is buying more food.
Yeah. Buying more food, provided you got the money for it, and provided the bosses don't combo you so quickly that you lose.
Yeah.
That you die before you can get a chance.
Now it's time to pop open the lid on how we felt. Let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't.
I guess we'll just go to the last questions, which is what specifically did you like about gameplay in general?
Well, even if boss patterns were pretty ornery and like Chargon is just such a stupid repetitive boss, at least it means that they're easy to learn, and even if it's kind of weird how you fight them, at least it's not hard to learn. You have like 1 or 2 bits of complexity, and I can digest that.
Okay. What about you, Shadi? What did you like about Popful Mail in general? Like, we talked about a lot of the Okay, voice acting?
Yeah, I think that's really the reason why I wanted to play it. I wasn't really expecting much out of the game design. I thought it was just going to be another generic platformer action game, like Monster World 4.
Did you just call Monster World 4 generic?
Monster World 4 sucks. Stand down.
I thought you hated Monster World 4, Golem.
It's my least favorite of the Wonder Boys that I've played, but it's still, like... I guess it just wounds me to hear it mentioned in the same breath as Popful Mail.
Okay, well, it's not generic. It does have that pet mechanic.
Also, I wish to change my answer to the voices, because, like, Tato's voice in particular I thought was really amusing.
Really?
I liked,
Yeah,
what was his name? The guy from the beginning of the game?
Slick?
No. In the first cutscene.
Nutcracker.
Montaglione.
Yeah, that's Cracker.
Yeah, he was really cool too.
No, I did not like him.
With that nutty
He's
Italian
really-
accent.
I liked his voice so much I didn't mind hearing his voice again whenever I died at him.
The voice acting really wore on me. Like, I enjoyed it at first, and then by the time I was at Fintuccio, I was done with it. I also didn't like Gall's voice, and I started playing as him a lot, and then that was just annoying. I think Mail and Slick were my favorites.
It's
Yeah.
I always had a rule where if I died, I would turn the voice off until I got past that section.
But do you want to hear what the other characters have to say?
I would cycle through them first, but I also typically died millions and millions of times.
Yeah, I think Gaw had the best game over quote.
Well, what was it? I never got a game over with Gaw.
Oh, it's something.
I think I
can't
can
say it
hear
now.
balloons.
What?
No,
Yes.
it's something like.
No, that's one of them.
What do you
one
mean
of them
hear
is-
balloons?
That's what he says.
I thought he said loons, but if he's actually saying balloons, that's pretty funny.
Looms? What are you in hearing
Yeah,
looms?
I don't think looms makes any more sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
Gauze starts out pretty unentertaining, but I think as the game goes on, his dialogue gets, he's pretty crass to some people in some
Yeah, I like that. I feel like Gaw is completely in the right, no matter how much of a foul mouth he might be.
that has a layer of amusement to it.
I didn't know Gaw was foul mouth.
Not like he doesn't swear, but he is like very
Blunt.
like he's like slick, but not an asshole.
Yeah.
Because like Slick was like being a jerk to Gaw with his stupid bombs.
Yeah.
And then Gaw's like, I'm just here.
Gall's a whiny baby.
No, he's not. He's the opposite of one.
Oh, he's such
Slick's
a whiny baby.
Slick is the whiny baby.
So
Yes.
the legend about the warrior, the elf, and the dwarf, that's the warrior is the three main characters, the dwarf is the guy from the mine level, and the elf is Slick, right?
What?
That's what that's going for?
I can't
don't
be
know.
right. Okay,
No.
here's what I got from that. I thought at first I thought the elf and the warrior were dead. That's what I thought. But then that one cutscene where you see Sven, I'm thinking, okay, because the way he and the dwarf, the old dwarf guy you find in level 3, the way they talk to each other makes me think that Sven was the warrior. And of course the dwarf is dwarf. I still have no idea who the elf is supposed to
I thought all three of those guys were dead. That was like
No,
millennia ago.
No, because the
Mumbles can
dwarf,
still be alive. He's old.
yeah, the dwarf guy says that he's the one who like made the seal. And it's like, wait, if he made the seal that sealed him in the war in the first place, well, obviously he's got to be the one that was there.
By the
Okay.
way, is this Mumbles the same one as from Dick Tracy?
I remember. I didn't mean literally. I meant like those characters were parallel.
No,
Yeah.
but if there are parallels here, then wouldn't Mail be the warrior, Tato be the elf, and Gaw be the dwarf?
Yeah, I could see that reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Gaw's a
don't
lot
think it's
larger
that.
than he's supposed to be in game. Actually,
Yeah. I guess what I specifically did like about the general gameplay, well, at first, was that of course, Popful, she has a decent jump height, so you could get some decent platforming, and her attack was nice and long, so, it wasn't a pain in the ass to hit guys.
You actually get some cool platforming in the third world
Yeah.
Right.
once you get out of the mine stage.
Oh yeah. Speaking of cool platforming, at the end of the game, I feel like the platforming it just reaches a phenomenal peak.
Yeah. They start tossing in
Oh my
those-
god, no, wait, it gets
Phenomenal?
awful.
No, it doesn't. That's
Oh,
the best
God.
part of the game.
It
Well,
sucks.
Now
No,
I got,
it's
okay,
not.
now
It's,
I've got to
it's
see.
nice and challenging.
Phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to see for myself then, because I'm at the second part of World 5. What specifically did you like about the general gameplay? Like, even if it's just like the general idea of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, characters having different attacks is good. Or, like, different weapon types, that's always cool. It just wasn't implemented well because of the way that they supersede each other statistically. And then, I also do like the level-based adventure structure, where instead of a fully interconnected world like Metroid, you have just a series of sort of dungeon-like levels connected by a world map. I am always preferential to that, just because it's nice to get a breather, and it's also nice to. I think a lot of the fun of a maze is experiencing the beginning of it, and so you get a refresher with each new stage. But yeah, it just doesn't matter when the game's not any fun to play.
Yeah. So now it's time for y'all to let it all out. What specifically, or I'm sorry, not what specifically, what in general did you not like? So avoid mentioning like specific enemies that you hate or bosses that you hate. Just like stuff in general. Like for me, I can't stand the camera. So yourself, you first.
Well, the things I just said I liked were all like paired with things I said I didn't like. I think I like all of those were actually things more like that I would have liked, except that instead they were things I didn't like the weapons, like the stats just fucking it up. I am not a huge fan of on-the-fly character swapping either. Again, when it comes to learning the game, I think an important aspect of pacing is repetition, and an important aspect of that is consistency or reproducibility. And when you choose to play a stage as a character, like in Super Mario Brothers 2, you know that you're going to be able to do the entire stage with that character. You don't need to constantly reevaluate situations based on your ability set. Like, well, you reevaluate them based on your ability set, but you don't reevaluate your ability set. You don't say like, oh, can Luigi just not get past this part? In Popful Mail, there are never like real hard dead ends where you can't get by without switching to a certain character. But
You switch to co-op, it's platforming.
yeah,
And there are bosses where you definitely need a character, one specific character.
it just gives it a really terrible flow, which is weird because I like it in Demon's Crest, but I thought it was not good here.
All right. Shouty, how about you?
I just don't like the game. I mean, it's just such a boring, mediocre experience that I just regret having thrusting this upon you guys.
Keep in mind, Shouty, that we could have played Doom 2.
I know.
Doom 2.
We could have played Paper Mario. We could have.
Well, Shouty also got us to play Ball Cube, and I don't think anything can take that away.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, Ball Cube was fun.
Making us play Popful Mail.
Especially over Doom 2.
And Greg, what about you?
It's hard to point to a specific feature of the gameplay, and I think it'd be more effective to say that just the balance is off. Everything is tweaked to some annoying angle, and so, like, more than anything specific about the gameplay, it would be all of the tweaks applied to every corner of the gameplay are off.
Okay. I feel like most of you guys covered what I would have said. I guess one thing that I almost don't even know what to think about, and that is, what do you think about the fact that if you die with any of the characters, you game over instead of having each of them?
Yeah, I know. Damn it. I wanted to say that. Yeah. I think it worked in Shineketsu Koha. I think I was
just about to bring that up.
It works in Shineketsu Koha because deaths don't come out of the blue.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And you also,
yeah.
Not to mention, you seamlessly switch between characters, so there's no, like, go to the pause screen. Like,
oh, yeah,
in
you
Popful
can see
Mail,
all their health right at the bottom.
Yeah, in Popful Mail, I just don't feel like switching characters. It's like, I'll just play the room again, whatever. I don't care anymore.
This is stupid, but I was really grateful for the elixir because it meant I could die and not have to sit through the game over screen. I could just reload after using an elixir.
Oh yeah, it's like a little. It's like a little convenient safety net.
Right.
Yeah, I got really clingy to the elixir because if I had health items, I would use those instead of elixir
Yeah,
because elixir would give you full health. And
they're finite too.
yeah, they're limited because I noticed that I only have two. It's like I can always just buy another melon. I can't buy another elixir. I've never seen a shop that sells one.
And you
Actually,
And
can't
if
the
buy
last,
another sun.
the last shop in the game has elixirs you can buy.
Oh, thank God.
But that's not to say that you shouldn't hang on to your elixirs in case you really need them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to the harder parts of the game, obviously, but I gave up on stressing myself out over trying to keep the elixir and just, use it up right away and played on without it.
Yeah, that can take a load off. I actually had to do that recently, so now I don't have any more elixirs. So now I just gotta suck it up and play without them. Alright. I think that's all we
Kirby.
got. What?
Instead, suck it up.
He's the one to know.
Alright, yourself, any final words?
I'm uploading that Oath and Felgana video.
Alright, cool. Shouty, any final words?
I take an oath to never fail in choosing the next game.
I thought you were going to make a joke about Ghana.
Oh, God.
Okay, Lord.
I guess that'd be
Glad
a
I
little
did.
tasteless, right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And Greg, Golem, any final words?
Well, I don't know how I feel about knowing this game as well as I do. I feel like maybe I've wasted part of my brain.
I cannot believe you took the time to play it multiple times.
Well, I wanted to be ready for the popcast.
Yeah, but all that bitching you did about not wanting to play it and like, oh, I'm just going to sit this one out and you guys can suck it up. And all that stuff. And then you played it like 8 times.
Well, I mean, the crowd of players was thin enough as is, and if I'm going to play it, I'm at least going to play it right.
Yeah, because no one wants to play this stupid game.
Okay. That keeps me from having to basically rant for 45 minutes about every single glass goddamn. Yeah. I'm gonna have a field day talking about these bosses, so that's the second podcast. You don't have to come if you don't want to.
Can we talk about, what about a podcast on NPCs?
Yeah, we
Alright, that NPCs. It was really just like the back and forth stuff the game is making you do, and that's all I really meant by NPC interaction. Because that's such like an adventure game thing that I wanted to bring that up. And for the most part, I don't really think we had much to say about it. It was just a sort of it's there and it can kind of fuck you over if you don't know there's a specific person you need to talk to or talk to twice in some cases, or it's just really making you go back through the same area like 2 or 3 times over, like that part with Slicky. Slick. Why do I call him Slicky? I think that's what he calls himself.
Slicky Warbucks.
Yeah, he's a grade A loser. I kind of love him because he's so pathetic. Like when he starts screaming about it, he's claustrophobic.
I don't
I think
he's
the best
pathetic.
Slick
I
moment-
think he's pretty cool.
Are you Glug?
What's that, the dwarf? Glug?
Yeah.
No, I didn't like him. He was
He was
stupid
a little-
and weird.
Yeah, why did he sound like a girl? Oh yeah, the Penguin Knights were super fucking awesome. I got a kick out of
Oh,
seeing
God, the
that.
penguins are the most entertaining characters.
And he sounds like goddamn Daffy Duck. That was awesome.
It's great.
So in conclusion, when talking about balance, there are a lot of factors that come into play, and oftentimes, no one is solely responsible for being out of balance. It's important to note that working designs did tamper with the damage values. However, it isn't just that by itself, but the way it's intertwined with the save system, the lack of health drops, the placement of shops, the hit invulnerability, the camera, lack of knockback on enemies, and the effectiveness of ranged attacks against a mostly melee enemy roster that affected the pace and flow of gameplay.
All music from this podcast was taken from Popful Mail, the Sega CD release. Your host was Adrian Santiago, and I, Greg Livingston, aka Golem, have been your producer. If you have any comments or questions, please email vgcommune@gmail.com.